Welcome to our webcast. Today we're going to answer why Facebook marketing will become as important as having a website. But first, I want to introduce you to our presenters. We've got Jamie Grenny, who is the VP of Social Media at Salesforce.com. He's been focused on small business marketing and online community for most of his 10 years at Salesforce. He started at Salesforce when it was a relatively small business with just 130 employees, and today there are over 7,700 employees. We also have Chris Luo. Chris is the global head of SMB marketing at Facebook. Chris is responsible for the scalable acquisition, growth, and retention of small and medium business advertisers on Facebook. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter, Jamie Grenny.
Thanks, Maura, and thank you, Chris, for collaborating on this joint webinar. Leading up to today, we've bounced this presentation off a number of small businesses, so hopefully we've packed it full of ideas that you can put to use. Now, the title of the webinar was designed to spark a little bit of controversy. It's a bold statement, but it's one that we have to take very seriously. Over the past couple years, we've seen this shift in the way that people use the internet. It used to be that you were tethered to your desk, but more and more people are accessing the web from mobile phones and from tablets. And a huge amount of the time that's being spent online is being spent on sites like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This trend is changing how we interact with our customers. There was a recent study by IBM where they found that in the next 3 to 5 years, social will become the second most important customer touchpoint, second only to face-to-face interactions. You can see that as other channels like traditional media and call centers are declining in importance, social is just rocketing up. People are posting questions to Twitter, they're writing reviews on Yelp, and they're being exposed to new products on Facebook. You can treat this data with skepticism and say, it doesn't apply to my industry. Or you can skate to where the puck is going to be. You can look at the trajectory here and get a jump on your competitors. Let me give you a couple of examples that you can probably relate to. Some of these aren't small businesses, but they're sticky stories that illustrate the point. We'll start with Skittles. In 2009, which is just 3 years ago, Skittles had a static website. It was basically a flashy online brochure. That's not really a model that's going to get you a lot of repeat visitors. So when it came time to revamping their website, Skittles made a bold move, and they decided to redirect all of their traffic from Skittles.com to Twitter search. A couple days later, they pointed their website to Facebook, and then to YouTube, and even to Wikipedia. People ask, why would you give up traffic and point someplace else? And how are you going to control the message if you can't control what is posted to those pages? They certainly had their bumps along the way, but they learned from the experience. Today, Skittles has a presence on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, but they've revamped their website and they've created a mashup of sorts. They're pulling in the best posts from their community. It's worth checking out. So 3 years later, what has the impact been? What has become of Skittles' crazy PR stunt? Well, let's put it this way. Who do you think has more Facebook fans, Snickers or Skittles? How about Starburst? They have a pretty similar brand. Who has more fans there? How about M&M's? They've got an iconic brand. Believe it or not, Skittles has more fans than all three of those brands combined. 23 million fans on Facebook. So how do all those fans impact the bottom line? That's the real question. Well, as it turns out, if you can form connections with customers on Facebook, they're more likely to buy your product. This was a study by Forrester Research that highlights just how much more likely. In the case of Best Buy, you can see that it's 2x. That's huge. It makes sense though. If you're publishing into their feed and delighting them with fun content, you're going to be top of mind. Now, you'll often find that B2C companies are leading the way when it comes to social. They don't view it as something that's going to impact their business in 3 to 5 years. If you're a B2C company today and you haven't embraced social, your competitors are probably eating your lunch. But it's worth noting that this transformation is also shifting customer touchpoints for B2B companies. We've seen it firsthand at Salesforce. We sell business applications for sales, marketing, and support. And with a B2B product, you've got to get buy-in from multiple stakeholders, and the products are often more complex. That doesn't mean that you can overlook sites like Facebook and YouTube. Let's start with video. Online video is an incredibly valuable medium for us because it allows us to deliver a clear and concise message in a format that's easy to share. A couple years ago, we had all of our videos on our website. And that makes sense. That's where our prospects come to learn about our products. Well, about the same time as Skittles was redirecting their website traffic, we decided to bet the farm on YouTube. We could have gone with an enterprise class video management platform, but we decided to use YouTube for all of our videos, including the videos on our site. This forced us to think social first. We couldn't look at our website as an island. The results thus far have been astounding. YouTube is allowing us to connect with new audiences, and our videos turn up in search there, and our customers know exactly what they're going to get when they get a YouTube link. They know the experience. We've got another presentation that goes into our video strategy. I'll share that to Twitter with the social SMB hashtag so you can check it out there. Some people are probably saying, video is one thing, but does it really make sense for a B2B company to be investing in Facebook marketing? Well, we're seeing the same thing play out there. Today we do our live events on Facebook. We do our big Dreamforce broadcast there, and we've been publishing our seasonal release notes there, more and more customer marketing. We're promoting in-person events on Facebook using Facebook advertising, and we're generating leads on content offers like this webinar. Our recruiting team has also gotten into the mix. They're sourcing candidates on Facebook, and they're selling them on why Salesforce is a great place to work. The reach and level of engagement on Facebook is unmatched. If you want to get in front of people on a regular basis, there's no better place to be. Here's another chart that's eye-opening. This one looks at the growth of web traffic for Fortune 100 companies and compares it to fan page growth. You can see why this is a trend that companies just can't deny. If you want to chase growth, you need to figure out how to grow faster than the competition on Facebook. All right, let's bring this back to small businesses. In my mind, small businesses have the most to gain from this shift. They aren't saddled with existing paradigms, and they can use social to differentiate themselves. There are companies out there like Dollar Shave Club and HubSpot that have put themselves on the map with viral content. And there are companies like Spotify and Causes and Dropbox who have created viral products. And then there are also companies that are using social engagement to support customers and build an army of brand advocates. Now, for many of you who have started a business, you know the first step is to go register a domain and build out a website. My sister was recently in this position. She's trying to start a business called Educate that has a model similar to Tom's Shoes. She's selling bags, and a portion of the proceeds go to fund education in developing countries. This is the current state of her website today. It's a coming soon page. Behind the scenes, she's been busy working through this checklist. She hired a designer to help her figure out the right branding and information architecture. They worked through the usability and found a platform to host the site. She then has to work with the developers to implement the designs and work through all the bugs. And while it's not going to come in the first version, she's going to eventually have to figure out mobile and how to make her site really social. That's a lot of work. The end result that she's been trying to get to for the last 4 or 5 months is something like this. It's a good-looking website, and it's definitely an important pillar to establish your credibility. But once you have a website like this, the question that always seems to come up is, how are you going to generate traffic? I've had the same conversation with small businesses over and over. The response I typically get is, I'm going to promote it via social channels, and hopefully eventually we can start generating some search traffic and get at the top of the results. So I guess my question is, what if you flip that around? What if you started by creating a Facebook page and worked your way back to the website? To illustrate this point, let's take a look at Reid Hoffman's Rule of 3. For those who don't know Reid, he's an entrepreneur, he's a venture capitalist, and he's one of the co-founders at LinkedIn. Ever since hearing him speak at a Startup America event, which is a great organization by the way, his message has really stuck with me. The first question he asks companies before investing is, how will you reach a massive audience? As he says, there are thousands of products that are launched every month, so how does your company rise above the noise? In the Educate example, you could use search marketing or advertising, but you're competing against more sophisticated players with deep pockets, and that can be a tough game. It'd be great to use email marketing, but you've got to build up that list, and that takes time. There's one more option, and that's social marketing. Of all the options above, that's the one where you've got the greatest opportunity to shine. The next question that Reid asks is, what is your unique value proposition? Is it speed, quality, price? How are you going to distinguish yourself from the pack? If you had a Facebook page and a bunch of fans, you could test your value proposition and learn from your customers. You could make them feel like they have a seat at the table. That'd be a good start. You might also differentiate based upon likability. If you can develop a brand that people want to support, your community can become a key differentiator. The last question that Reid asks is, how will your business be capital efficient? Can you grow without running out of money? A lot goes into this, but if you didn't have to support a website and all that comes with that, Would you be able to reduce your operating costs? Also, if you got good at tapping into the viral loop, would that reduce your customer acquisition costs? There's some interesting questions to think about. So the key takeaway across all of this is think social first. Your website may play an important role, but you need to envision a world where Facebook marketing is more important than your website. When I spoke with my sister about Educate, I said, have an audacious goal for yourself. Do you think you can go from 0 fans to 12,000 fans in 1 year? People are going to be able to see that momentum as your fan count grows, and they're going to get on board and help support the movement. Now, to reach a goal like that, you've got to figure out how to get short-term gratification. Without a strategy in place, it's going to be a slog getting to that first 1,000 fans, and in all likelihood, you're going to give up. You need a strategy so you come out of the gate strong. As my friend Kingsley once told me, you can always start narrow, but don't start weak. Invest in design resources to make your page pop and come up with great content so people's first impression is a really, really good one. And while you should use all the free promotional resources you can get to generate traffic, don't be afraid to advertise to build up that initial momentum. I'm telling you, when you run your first Facebook campaign and you start to see the number of fans grow or a spike in engagement, it's a really rewarding feeling. It's the type of success that you can build on. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris so he can give you some prescriptive guidance on how to grow that Facebook presence. Chris?
Thanks, Jamie. Today, I'm going to show you how to build your audience on Facebook and get measurable results for your business. To start, I want to quickly describe how Facebook works. At simplest level, people post things to their profile page, and these stories are eligible to show up in the newsfeed of their friends. The newsfeed is the first thing people see when they log into Facebook.com, and it's the first thing they see when they bring up Facebook on their mobile device. What you see in your newsfeed is a personalized newspaper of the most interesting things happening in the lives of your friends and in the businesses, organizations, and brands that you follow. As a small business, one of your goals is to form connections with your customers and to make them satisfied customers, so they will spread the word about your business to their friends. This is exactly how Facebook marketing works. You form relationships with customers when they like you on Facebook. You influence them, and when they interact with you on Facebook, they spread the word about your business to their friends. The key question for you is how you'll leverage the power of Facebook's social graph to influence your customers and to spread the word about your business through positive word-of-mouth stories. Connections are happening on a massive scale on Facebook. Today, there are over 1 billion people on Facebook coming back on a monthly basis. Each day, they generate 3.2 billion likes and comments, so a ton of interaction. And each day, 120 million people become fans of pages. The goal for you is to participate in these interactions, to leverage them for the good of your business. We're going to go through 4 steps that businesses need to take to be successful on Facebook. You should be able to work through this list in a few hours of work per week and see measurable results. Let's go through them one by one. The first step is to build out your Facebook page. This is where everything begins on Facebook and is the center of your entire Facebook marketing strategy. Your page is what you will use to form relationships with customers and prospects, and you'll turn these relationships into sales, repeat sales, and influence. To make sure your page represents the unique personality of your brand, you'll want to update your cover photo and profile photo. If you can, work with a designer. These 2 images are the most visible images on your page and really shape perception. We're going to post the exact dimensions of these images online and add some additional tips, so you can check it out on Twitter at the SocialSMB hashtag. The next thing you want to do is add a couple of posts to let people know that you're active on Facebook and ready to interact with them. The new timeline feature also lets you go back and highlight milestones and key moments in your company's history, so fill that out as well. To showcase this step, let's take a look at the Educate page. This is how it looked a week ago. It's not too bad, but it doesn't look on par with the Educate website we saw earlier. Taking just a couple of minutes to update the cover photo and the profile photo and the description really makes it pop. Now let's see how Educate is filling in its timeline. A week ago, this is what Educate's page looked like. It only took a few minutes to drop in a photo and tell the story of how the company was founded. You can see why this simple step helps you get to know Educate on a more intimate level and draws you closer to their brand and their story. Once you get your page set up, the next step is to grow your audience. We encourage you to reach out to customers by email and promote your page on your website. You might even add it to your business card and email signature. If you have a physical store, have your cashiers encourage your customers to like you on Facebook so they can stay up to date on the latest sales and promotions of your business. Or even create a sign to put at your point of sale or put it on your receipts. Make social a core part of your business and how you intend to interact with your customers. The way to really accelerate fan growth, though, is to leverage Facebook ads. You can create ads to show up on the right-hand side of the newsfeed and on profile pages. These ads can be targeted and created to encourage people to connect to your page. Let me show you what I mean and how to do this in a step-by-step fashion. On your fan page, click on the Build an Audience drop-down and select Create an Ad. Or you can just go to facebook.com/advertising. Since the objective of this campaign for Educate is to get more page likes and build its audience, leave that first button selected. When you scroll down, you have an opportunity to design your ad. You can edit the text, edit the image, and decide where the link points. In this case, we're just going to drop people into Educate's page timeline, which is the right to a destination if they're trying to get likes. You can get an idea of what the ad looks like through the preview. If you don't already like the page, you would actually see a like link at the bottom of the ad. Educate is using very concise, benefits-driven copy on why you should like their page. They're emphasizing the opportunities to support girls' education around the world. You should test multiple ads, copy and image combinations. For example, for Educate, they might test an even simpler call to action in their ad, like us if you support girls' education around the world. It's also important to note that when you create an ad to get people to like your page, Facebook now automatically creates what we call sponsored stories. These are ads that show up on the right-hand side in your newsfeed that turn stories that naturally occur when people like your page or interact with your posts into ads that encourage more likes. This is a great new feature that helps your campaigns perform better, as sponsored stories typically are a great way to get more fans. Further down the page, you've got your targeting options. Here we're going to target women in the United States who are in college and not already connected to Educate. We can get even more granular with our targeting, but we'll keep it simple for this example. But you should know you can use things like age, gender, geography, job title, interests, company, and other pages to target your ads. At the bottom of the page, it asks how much you want to spend. We'll select $10 per day. Note that by default, we will automatically optimize your bid for your ad to maximize your page likes. You'll be asked to fill in your credit card details, and then your ad will be submitted for approval. Within a few hours, you'll get approved, and your campaign will start running. You can track the number of clicks, impressions, daily spend, and most importantly, actions, which represent people who liked your page within 24 hours of seeing your ad, or within 28 days after clicking on your ad. You can see here that what the ad for Educate looks like on the right-hand side. When people click on the ad, they'll be driven back to the fan page where they can see what Educate is all about. I want to emphasize again that we recommend trying multiple ads to get likes for your page and seeing which combination of image, copy, and targeting works best. Shoot to try to get to 1,000 fans. I think that's a good initial target for your business. Once you have 1,000 fans, you'll have a substantial sized audience that you can reach and influence on Facebook. Once you've got an initial set of fans and an audience to reach and influence, the next thing you're going to want to do is to engage your fans with quality content that shows up directly in their newsfeed, their personalized newspaper on Facebook. It's this content that will ultimately influence your fans over time and turn them into loyal buyers of your product. Quality content is also how you drive the viral word of mouth about your business. When people interact with your content, their friends will also see this and be encouraged to interact with your page as well. This is in some ways like email marketing. You've got a list of people who have opted in for communication with you, and you want to engage them over time. Just like email, you want to figure out the right frequency, tone, and content mix to maximize your rate of engagement. With Facebook, however, you've got some new signals that you're publishing valuable content. You can also look at the number of likes, comments, and shares that your posts generate. Facebook tries to serve the most engaging content to users, so the more engagement that your posts generate, the more reach you have with your posts, and the more influence and virality that you'll drive. In the Educate example, Allison is going to want to think about her content calendar. She might shoot for 2 posts a week initially and dial it up from there. Some of her posts will feature her product, some will describe her philanthropic mission, some will share feel-good stories about the girl who she's helping. The key is to keep the text short and sweet, and wherever possible, use high-quality images that pop and evoke an emotional response. Posts with photos drive 120% more engagement than the average post. Photos take up a huge amount of real estate in the newsfeed on desktop and on mobile. That's why they work. In your post, you can also include a call to action. That might be a bit.ly link that points to the e-commerce site where you sell your product. If it's not a post where you feel you can push an offer, to end by asking a question so you can spark engagement around your post. To provide you with some tangible tips, we have created a blueprint on how to create the perfect Facebook post. This is a good document to print out and pin up by your desk so that you've got a good checklist. You can also learn from the data. If you go to your Facebook page and click on the Show button to expose the admin panel, you will see Facebook Insights. Click through to see exactly what your most successful posts are, and that will help you guide your content strategy going forward. Try to get to 2% virality. That's a good benchmark to shoot for. Once you've created a page, built up your fan base with ads and sponsored stories, and are posting highly engaging content, step 4 is to influence the friends of the fans of your page. On average, each of your Facebook fans has over 130 friends. If you have 500 fans, you can reach up to 65,000 friends of fans, if not more. We have a few tools that you can use to help your posts reach and influence the friends of your fans in their newsfeed. Newsfeed is the most engaging place on Facebook, where over 1 billion people on a monthly basis spend 40% of their time. We see 8 times more engagement with posts in the newsfeed versus in other parts of the site, like the right-hand side ads. Promoted posts are an easy way to reach more people who like your page and their friends. Once you've gained 400 likes, you'll see this feature available on your page. Promoting your post increases the likelihood that people who like your page and their friends will see your message in their newsfeed, become aware of your business, respond to a discount or promotion that you're offering. To promote a post, just click on the promote button from your page's sharing tool or from an already existing post and select a budget based on how many people you'd like to reach. The more people that see your post and engage with it, the more likely their friends will see it as well, increasing its virality and your influence to the friends of your fans. Promoted posts will appear in the newsfeed on desktop or mobile and will be labeled as sponsored, like the example on the far right. Since this is a new product, I'm going to post more information on this to Twitter at the @socialSMB hashtag, so check that out. Another product we have available is Facebook Offers. Offers helps you bring customers to your business with a promotion they can claim and share with their friends. Like promoted posts, offers are available on all pages with 400 or more likes. And when you post an offer, it reaches your fans and the friends of your fans. The key benefits of our offers are, number 1, to drive sales. Offers drive sales on Facebook in a very tangible, direct way. Virality is another benefit. Offers are highly viral due to a special newsfeed story that tells people when their friends have claimed it. And measurability. Offers drive measurable sales and include optional features such as barcodes and unique codes for your tracking purposes. To run an offer, it's very simple. Go to your page's sharing tool and choose the type of offer you want to create. Enter in the information about your offer, and then pick a budget to reach your target audience, and then share your offer. Customers will see your offer in their newsfeed on both desktop and mobile and be able to claim it. So now we have run through the 4 steps to success on Facebook, but you probably are wondering how to really measure the total sales impact from implementing these steps. Offers is one way to do it, but Facebook drives sales in many ways beyond offers that you'll need to capture. Since we can drive people directly to your e-commerce site and also influence people over time to buy, we also need to capture those impacts. There are 3 different approaches that we recommend you incorporate into your measurement. The first way is simply to ask your customers at your point of sale, or maybe when they're filling out a form on your website, how'd you hear about us? Adding Facebook to that list of options is a good first step. That will capture a lot of the customers that you're just influencing through your posts in the newsfeed, who might not have actually just directly clicked on an offer. Another way to track on Facebook and measure your sales is to use exclusive codes in your Facebook posts. We see a lot of companies just putting out promo codes. For example, your Facebook post might say something like, the first 50 people to enter Girl Effect in the promo box on our website at checkout will receive 20% off their Educate page. This is a really good way to motivate people because it's time sensitive, but you can also see that it came from Facebook. The final way is to tag your URLs on Facebook. If you're sending people back to your website, you can add a parameter to the URL on Facebook. Sometimes this is referred to as a campaign ID or a driver ID. Most people hide the long URL with a URL shortener like Bitly. When people click from Facebook to your website, that hidden parameter is passed behind the scenes. When the order form or web to lead form is submitted, you can track the source of the lead back to the Facebook campaign, or you can see this in your Google Analytics. From there, you can build a dashboard that measures your lead quality pipeline and closed business. Now you have a way to actually measure your total sales from Facebook. How do you actually calculate your ROI? Here's a very simple formula to measure your Facebook campaign ROI. If you're tracking sales in the way we just described, you can divide that by your marketing costs. Your marketing cost includes what it costs to acquire fans. That's what we did in step 2. And the cost of promoting the content. That's what we were doing really in steps 3 and 4. I would actually consider taking the fan acquisition costs and spreading that out or amortizing over the course of a year, since those are assets that you'll be able to use for a long period of time, and not just for this one campaign. And then you can just calculate your ROI from this simple equation. And this is actually what we do at Facebook as well for our own campaigns. So hopefully now I've given you a good overview of the 4 steps you need to follow to be successful on Facebook. To summarize again, they are to build out your Facebook page, since this is the centerpiece and foundation of your Facebook strategy. Build out your audience by creating multiple Facebook ads, and then engage your audience and influence them with quality content, and use the interactions with your contents to drive virality and word of mouth. And then finally, influence the friends of your fans with tools like promoted posts and offers that can reach the friends of fans. If you use these 4 steps, you're going to make social a core part of your business and be able to reach and influence a massive audience on Facebook, which includes many of your current and future customers. So those are the 4 steps. I'm going to pass it back over to Jamie, who's going to provide some closing thoughts to the webinar.
Thanks, Chris. That's really helpful, breaking it down into 4 simple steps. Before we close out and get to questions, I want to tackle one last piece of this puzzle, which is active engagement. If you're going to go big on social channels, you've got to have a tool for listening and responding to comments. Last year, Salesforce acquired a company called Desk.com, which is an all-in-one customer support app for small businesses. It lets you moderate Facebook, Twitter, as well as the traditional channels like web, phone, and email. It's easy to set up, and it's got a flexible pricing model that works for small businesses and even seasonal businesses. I'm going to take just a minute here to show you how easy it is to plug into Facebook. The first step is to visit Desk.com, enter your company name, and click Get Started. It's going to ask you for some very basic information, but you don't need to put down a credit card or anything like that. Once you're in, it'll give you a list of things that you need to set up. The more things that you customize, the more flex credits you earn. We're going to set up the Facebook channel. It's super easy. You just connect it here, and it starts pulling in comments, and it shows you which ones you've followed up with. You can click through to a post, and in this case you can see that a customer is asking how much one of these tote bags costs. You can write a comment right there in the box and mark it as resolved, or you can apply a macro and deliver a templatized response. This is probably a question that she's going to get a bunch. Having all of your channels streamlined into this one view, you can stay on top of things and provide outstanding customer service. I encourage you to check it out. You can watch a demo or you can sign up for a free trial. All right, let's get to some questions. Maura's been watching Twitter and the social stream down below. Maura, what do we have?